Hello, wonderful people of the great World Wide Web. Welcome to the Sept channel and my motorcycle ride series titled What's Next? Here we are, folks, the beginning of the unpaved section of the TET Croatia. It's 11 o'clock before noon and the smell of rain-soaked forest is filling my senses. As a local Croat, TET Croatia has been on my bucket list of routes to explore ever since I bought my motorcycle. And let me tell you, I'm stoked to be here. Thanks to those awesome YouTube videos, I had a pretty good idea of what to expect. But honestly, nothing can prepare you for the real deal. I am absolutely thrilled and geared up to tackle this fantastic route. But I understand that it's crucial for me, a rider who has only covered less than 3,000 kilometers on my motorcycle since I resumed riding after 32 years, to stay grounded and prioritize safety. After all, safety always comes first. But with my trusty Himalayan beneath me, I know I am up for the challenge. So join me as we hit the trail and experience the thrill of off-road riding together. Let's kick up some dirt and discover what adventures lies ahead. Let's find out what's next. I'm not in a hurry at all since I'm on vacation, and I feel like I have all the time in the world, even though it's less than 3 weeks. The temperature is pleasant, around 28 degrees Celsius, and it just rained an hour ago. The forecast for today and the next few days is rain showers, but I'm crossing my fingers and hoping to dodge most of them. The unpaved section of TET Croatia kicks off in the breathtaking woods of Gorski Kotar, and the initial stretch takes you to the forest on well-maintained gravel roads, treating you some splendid views on the right side. It was an absolute joyride. I was relieved to find that the gate was unlocked. While there is a way around it, it can be tricky for an inexperienced solo rider like me, so I was glad to skip that part. But then, the first rain shower hit me out of nowhere, and before I could even put my rain gear, I was already drenched. The brief rain shower quickly dissipated, and as I continued riding, the route suddenly opened up to reveal a breathtaking view of Velebit Channel and the island of Krk. I couldn't resist taking a moment to pause and soak it all in. From here, the ride was nothing but pure, relaxed enjoyment on well-maintained and twisty gravel roads, with the occasional rain shower not dampening my spirits. And then this happened. my first bike drop on TET Croatia. Well, it seems like my bike and I needed some quality time with nature, so we took a little detour and ended up in the bushes. I guess we were just both looking for a cozy spot for a quick huddle. And my dear friends, this was the first time I dropped the bike off the road, outside the road. Good thing it wasn't a cliff, or else I'd be flying high like a bird. My motorcycle seemed to have a mind of its own for a moment, likely due to my forgetting to adjust the tire pressure from road settings and my poor body positioning, basically my inexperience. Next thing I knew, my bike was bouncing over rocks and charging forward like a wild stallion, and before I could say "Weha!", I accidentally hit the throttle and found myself off the road. I guess they call that the whiskey throttle? But hey, at least it was a bush that broke my fall. I had never struggled to lift my bike before, but this time it was hanging downhill and proved to be quite a challenge. I had to resort to some creative maneuvering and also taking the luggage off just to get it upright again. I should remember to point my camera at the bike when I drop it so that everyone can appreciate my hard work. After my bike's brief encounter with the local flora, my route continued on a bumpy road, nothing my trusty Himi couldn't handle. However, I made a beginner mistake of messing up the camera angle after changing the battery in my GoPro. I'm sorry for that, guys. I tried my best to salvage some watchable footage that's not just focused on my dashboard. As the day progressed and I covered over 80 kilometers, my original plan of camping somewhere in the woods began to lose its appeal. I was completely drenched from both the rain and my own sweat. At first I was diligently putting on and taking off my rain gear with every shower, but it quickly becomes tiresome. My main gear is designed for summer riding and offers no protection from the rain. After a few times taking only my rain jacket on and off, I realized my mistake as my legs started to sweat under my rain pants. I decided that a warm room and a proper meal would be a better option than camping. With 3 hours of daylight still remaining and the day going so well, I couldn't bear the thought of ending it just yet. So I figured, why not push a little further to Vrhovine? It was only about 50 kilometers away and had all the services I needed. A gas station, apartments for rent, and a restaurant. It sounded like a perfect rest stop. But ignoring my growing fatigue and overestimating my newbie abilities almost led to my biggest mishap later in the trip. As the daylight was fading, I pressed on down some nicely maintained dirt/gravel roads through the woods. But I was also grateful for the occasional paved sections to give me a bit of a break from all that off-roading. And there were also some more demanding parts with loose stones and slippery parts because of the rain. The Sept tires that came with my bike are designed with a bias towards paved roads with an 80-20 ratio, and while they work really well on dry surfaces, they struggle with wet surfaces and mud. Less than 10 kilometers left before reaching Vrhovine, I had my second bike drop of the day, and I'm not entirely sure what happened. It could have been a combination of exhaustion and my lack of experience as a rider. This was also the first time I felt some pain when dropping the bike, but thankfully I had invested in some quality riding boots that saved my foot from getting hurt any worse. My foot pain made it harder for me to lift the bike, but with a little extra effort I was able to get it back upright. Despite the throbbing pain in my foot, I decided to tough it out and push through to Vrhovine. I plan to check on my foot once I arrive. I finally arrived at my destination in Vrhovine. I found a cozy room to crash in and a place to stuff my face. While there, I had the pleasure of meeting some amazing and experienced adventure riders from Germany and the Netherlands. One young woman really stood out to me as she was solo riding her husky and following TET routes all the way from the Netherlands. If I remember correct, her plan was to ride all the way to Albania and then return to Netherlands via the eastern parts of Europe. Talk about respect. We had a great time together, having some beers while chatting in both English and German. After a satisfying meal and some liquid courage, I limped back to my room to tend to my wounded foot. Despite the pain, I felt like a freaking champion. Oh, what a day it had been! And that concludes the first part of my 3-part adventure. If you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more exciting motorcycle adventures. See you all in the second part. Stay safe and keep exploring.